I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody have a chance to read the minutes? Yes, Mr. Pohl, I think you had a couple.
Well, I talked to Michelle. Our minutes were fine, but the township, that ROW is right away. She explained that to me.
Oh, okay.
And then we want to correct that adjournment time. But other than that, that's the only two things. And then she did comment on that BOCC is Board of County Commissioners.
Mm-hmm.
But the row is right away where it says the townships want to know what available, the row dimensions to the maps, and that's right away. But then on adjournment time, it's got 2:59. That was probably closer to 8:59, 9 o'clock when we got out of there, the township, that meeting that night.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all I've seen.
Mr. Shealy, do you have anything?
No, obviously I wasn't here for the April 11th meeting.
Oh, that's true.
I know I saw the minutes weren't attached to the.
Do we need to
Okay.
separate those out, and vote on each separately, or the minutes for,
Yes,
Yeah.
they're separate meetings. yeah.
okay, so we are under, the regular meeting is under consideration first?
Oh, okay. I think everything looks okay. I wasn't here.
Okay.
I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Okay, do I hear a
I'd
motion?
entertain a motion, Mr. Chairman.
And I'll second that. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Passed 2-0, or one
Yeah,
abstention.
I'll abstain.
Okay. And now the township meeting minutes. I think that was the ones that we talked about and corrected. We're actually voting on them separately. So
Yes.
do I hear any
The
other?
ROW means right away, and then change the adjournment time to 8:59 or 9 o'clock, thereabouts. But we did, I don't recall who made the motion, but we did make a motion a second.
To adjourn?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. That was,
Do you recall who, did I make it? Did you make, I think you made it,
I
didn't you?
think I
Jim?
made it.
I think you made it, and I seconded it, and
Yes.
then we voted. I believe that's how it went down.
okay. With those corrections, do I hear a motion to accept?
So moved.
I so move.
I'll second.
All right. Mr. Pohl made a motion and Jeff seconded it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0. I really thought that was a good meeting. I've had some good feedback from the public on it. A lot of it's just opening the communications, if nothing else. It was, I think, a lot of good information and goodwill was had.
Well, things such as the bridge that was demolished, and I had no idea when there was no sign, and they act like it'd been quite a while. Then Seth said he went down the road and almost got stuck, but he did put a sign there, so that's been corrected.
Thank you, Michelle. That's part of the communication when you are just taking things for granted and those signs aren't getting put back up, or stop signs, or safety. I think that was probably almost the theme of the night was public safety. Between the presentation with things being put, impediments along the roadways, and signage not being done correctly or maintained. I thought that was kind of the theme of the night. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think anytime you can have joint meetings with any other local governments, I think they're really, really good.
Commissioner comments and committee reports. Mr. Pohl, did you have
Shelley just said that there's a adult supervision, or a thing, April 26th, and I don't know if you're going to attend that
Mm-hmm.
or
My
not.
assumption is until somebody's officially appointed, I'd still be on that. I'd still be
Okay.
on that board.
So it's at 11:30 the 26th, April 26th.
yeah, I think she sent me an email.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Shealy, did you have anything?
Other than I think obviously the board knows that I submit resignation effective upon appointment of a district. So it's been a pleasure to serve citizens of District 1 in Atchison County, and truly miss it. But I just need to focus in on business, on a couple business items, and and get those taken care of. So I'll miss this board and miss being able to serve the public, but I'll be around and we'll help give input or get involved at some point. So,
Well, I wish you the best in your
Yes.
ventures.
Thank you for your service.
Been a
you.
pleasure serving with you.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
I know how time consuming it can be.
Yeah.
At times it don't, and then all of a sudden it hits you.
There's
There's,
still only 24 hours in a day, so
yes.
it's a busy time of the year.
I had a NEKES meeting at Troy Thursday. Everything is going well. Everything's on budget and schedule. They were talking about our updating the county codes. There's some things that will have to be kind of, most of the stuff on the codes that's going to be changed will be some wording and updates on terms, and that'll have to be approved by the state, and then they will come around and it seemed like everything was pretty much on track with what when they addressed us here a couple weeks ago. Wasn't anything really new beyond that. Okay, new business before the board. Have anything?
Mr. Chairman, Seth Howard was on the agenda, but he wanted to get permission to go to 10-hour days on May the 1st, and he wanted us to. So I make the motion that we allow him to go to 4 10-hour days starting May 1st at the Road and Bridge.
Okay.
I'll second it and then like to discuss a little bit too.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. More discussion?
I just want to make sure that somebody is staffed or, somebody's accessible to take phone calls from citizens or you kind of get in that time frame of the year, May 1st, we can still have a lot of rain. So, 4 days a week sounds great, but, if it rains one day or, just having somebody accessible to be able to answer phone calls or go out and see stuff, just because, there are 5 days in a week and every citizen, 7 days in a week, but every citizen may have some concerns if they're not seeing stuff done in a timely manner.
Well, I presume that's still into play, like if it rains Wednesday, they work Friday, because we put into that play a couple years ago.
Just might want to reiterate that.
Is that into play yet? I mean, I wasn't aware that that's
think-
the way we did it.
I think Commissioner Bodenhausen brought that up before you, that if there was a rain day, they would schedule the day off that day and then work Friday. Now, whether it was
We've done that in the past. I mean, that would
Okay.
be a good practice. But I just want to make sure that if a concerned citizen calls in or if somebody sends an email, is there going to be somebody to respond to that person in a timely manner would be my only concern. So,
Well, do you think it's a good idea to put this on the agenda for next Tuesday and have Seth show up and get
I think we need some more clarification. I think we
Yes.
could go ahead and approve the motion, but then make sure that we do some clarification and amendment if we need to thereafter.
Can you do that after you vote too? Or
Can
should
we-
we get that all cleared up before we vote on it?
I don't think you haven't voted though.
No,
No,
if we
but-
vote now, the motion's been made and seconded now.
You
If,
could do it either way. If you don't want it to go into effect until he comes to talk to you, then you shouldn't vote on it.
well, it's not until May 1st, so we would have time.
I'd rescind my motion and feel that we need to get some of the details.
okay. I didn't even think about the rainy day and working. It's a good. I was just concerned that somebody called in or somebody had an issue. Just say if it's on Friday, if they call in, who are they going to be able to get a hold of it? That's my concern. Is just
Okay,
having somebody available.
so motion's been rescinded.
Okay. I'll rescind my second.
Okay, so we will, you want to put Seth on for next week then? Schedule him and we will take that up then.
Mm-hmm.
You might let him know that just
What it's going to concern, what the conversation is going to be about.
the tenor of it, and that way he'll kind of be prepared for questions. Any other new business? I was not able to get a hold of Martin's, I guess that would be old business, so I'm going to try to get hold of them this week. We got a letter from KAC, and there's on the NACO board, Richard Mulm is currently as a NACO board member, and they're just asking if there's any other people that would want to apply. Didn't I get that correct, Michelle? That
Right, they were just wanting to know if there was any more nominations.
Any other
Anybody interested
nominations?
in-
I think Richard's doing a pretty good job. He's held that position quite a while, but he is doing a good job with it. He is the chairman at Jeff County, right?
I'm not sure if he is or not. He's on the board.
He's chairman of the town, or the county commission.
County.
He's just a commissioner. He's not chairman according to this.
Oh, well, I thought he still was.
and it's just an FYI.
I'm gonna keep that together.
What did I do with my? Okay, now we'll go to old or unfinished business. I'll go through this quicker than we've ever went through any.
You gonna discuss that, or you don't feel a need to discuss that?
Well, we discussed it in
Workshop.
the workshop this morning about asking the Martins since for the damaged container, since we're going to be buying a new one, so that is favorable to both of you for me to ask them about that, or if they will be willing to.
Yeah, if we're paying for a replacement, I don't see what's.
That should, no, it should be
unusual to-
ours, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
I would think.
Mhm.
I'm going to take that with me then, so I have some reference. Okay. And I think I told you this morning, there's training for the tax lid that's coming up, and the training in Topeka, which is the closest, is April 28th, if anyone's interested. I may try to make that. How much?
Michelle, didn't you say you and Jamie were planning on attending that or not?
I'm definitely gonna go to that.
Oh, I
one.
thought you said Jamie was.
I made it aware that to Jamie that, and she hadn't really looked at it yet, because this just came out, I think, Friday or
Right.
so.
Right.
So she may go, and I would like to go. I'm just not
Most of their
ready to
classes are
commit yet.
$450, but I'm not sure.
I
No?
think that one's only 60.
Only $60.
Because
Timing's what's
I
tough.
talked to Roger Basinger, and I'm going to the one tomorrow, and the same one on the 28th, just to get a little bit more.
What's the cutoff date? Does it state in that letter? Excuse me.
No. They don't say anything about cutoff for the actual meeting, so I may try to do it at the last minute. I don't want to schedule it if I can't go, but farming's one of those things you just can't plan around it.
I think the biggest issue that they may have is the room. If there's not enough room.
Oh, yeah.
Once they kind of fill it up, but I don't think it's got enough room for quite a few people.
Okay. And Pat, you're still going to try to get a hold of this George K. Bauman Company for
Roger Edgar, yes.
right, Roger Edgar? Yes. Okay. Wow. Any clues on how to stall longer? Okay. Oh, we did have it on the agenda for the second quarterly maintenance. Does anybody want to discuss anything about that now, or do we want to wait for Mr. Edgar's report? Or
Well, you could certainly discuss what you want to do. As I told you earlier, the contracts that you have both within the city of Atchison and in Effingham do not obligate the county to make payment. They just say that you may, and gives a maximum amount of $10,000 in Effingham, $40,000 in the city. And you're not so you might want to discuss what your intentions are with regard to those payments now or in the future.
I would like to see some financial statements from them. I was informed that this 409 give them a mill for the very same thing they asked us for money for, didn't they, or
That's
not?
the rec commission though.
Oh, that's different.
Well, they're the ones that are maintaining the Atchison Sports Complex. So that's not ASAF board and who responded. I mean, we don't, rec commission doesn't report to us.
I think you had a good idea, but it seemed like we can't get them all to want to meet. Or did you,
Yeah.
any,
I still would love to see all the major stakeholders get together, you know, here in the next 30 days would be ideal, and discuss this. I know at Legislative Coffee, I talked with Dr. Epley. He'd indicated that he would want to be present for that or be willing to have it. He thought it sounded like a good idea as well. So, but that includes like ASAF board as well as us and
409?
school districts, school districts, rec
School
commission,
district.
YMCA. You know, everybody has a stake in it. So
Okay, that'd be a good thing to set up. I mean, what's,
you could send an email out. I don't know. Just send out an email to the stakeholders and see what is a good day or time next 30 days to meet.
Well, I hate to put it on you, but you're involved in all the above, and maybe you could get that put together and we could meet.
Yeah, that's fine. I can send an email.
Even if
Email
even if we'd
address,
have to have a special meeting or something.
yeah, that would be fine with me.
We could do that, so we,
It'd be a great public meeting too. I feel that you'd want to see public there to discuss and give some input on it as well. So it affects a lot of people.
I think there's a lot of people that don't know how it's being run, you know, including me. I mean, I don't know all the 100% of the details, but who funds what and who's in charge of this, and it'd just be good information to know.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. Probably some suggestions that none of us even think about too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm for not going forward with the payment until we kind of get something set up, or, I mean, that's, I don't know if that's the correct way of doing it. I mean,
So
I'm
have
not,
the ASA board come up and
yes,
present? Okay.
till they present. We could go forward on these other plans, but,
That would probably speed up the process if we didn't cut a check. I mean, they'd want to meet earlier, or they'd want to meet with us.
sad to say, but that usually gets attention, so.
Yeah. I agree.
If there's no other discussion on that, do we have any county councilor updates?
I don't have anything to report.
Okay, wow, we're speeding through this. I was thinking maybe Jamie was gonna come over. Executive session possibly.
Did you sign off on these, Eric?
Yes. Apologize for my phone. Old school.
pretty good bills in that boat this month, didn't we, for last month? 1550 and they left some for 800 or something. Oh, I haven't found a sign-off sheet in here yet.
That sign's,
It's in there.
I thought it was in the first stack,
It's usually on the paper like that here. but I didn't see it.
on the back side of it, maybe. Thank you.
The executive session.
Yes, I would like an executive session, on a personnel matter.
Mr. Chairman, I'd ask for, make a motion, we have executive session on a personnel matter with county counselor. Do I need to start all over? I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session at 1:25 p.m. to discuss personal matters of non-elected personnel as allowed in KSA 75-4319B1, and that the purpose of the closed session is to protect the privacy rights of the employee, and that the board come out of executive session at
10-15 minutes.
1:40 would be 15 p.m. in the Commissioner Room, first floor courthouse. Those present will be County Commissioners, Pat Henderson, County Counsel, and Jamie Madison, HR.
Do I hear a second? It's been moved and seconded to go in executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We will now go into executive session.
You want to put her on the agenda for next Tuesday then?
There we go.
No, I think she's gonna let us know when it's time to do anything. Okay.
Oh, we don't have to say that, I guess.
Okay, well, I don't have anything.
I'd make a motion, we go back
Can I
into,
stop you for just a moment? I just, when I was out there, I called Seth. Seth wanted me to ask you guys he wanted me to let you know that he gets all the voicemails sent to his phone via text, and he checks the emails just like a weekend. So that way there would be people with the phones, if there's messages left and or the emails, would be checked on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, just wanted to present that.
What about rainy day?
I didn't actually get time to
Okay.
talk to him about the rainy day.
Okay.
So do we want to leave it tabled then and actually discuss this with him next
Probably
week?
just get clarification, like Commissioner
That man
Ford
wanna
said,
come
it'd probably
in?
be good to get it clarified for sure. I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Let me double check the folders, make sure I didn't miss anything. Michelle, this conference here, is this the one you're going to?
No, that is the Kansas County Commissioners Annual Conference.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's actually held in Junction City, May 31st through June 2nd, I believe.
Yes.
Hopefully, I think you guys have at least 2 that go. But I did reserve rooms, they can be canceled.
Is this when you said that you thought Jamie and Seth were going to?
Jamie, Seth, and I think Connie are going to that first.
Just one
Mhm.
from 12:30 to ethical considerations and communications for
If
the
you want to
public.
go with me, that's fine, but I think maybe that might be a good place for the new commissioner to start off, because it's a lesson on, for being leaders, maybe send that person to that for sure, so.
Yeah, I don't know if, as I'm going to sign up for this one. But there is rooms available, so we can bring that back when the new
Is there a
commissioner.
cutoff, is there a cutoff date on that as well? Should we
Well,
go-
she's got the room, so I don't
Oh,
know.
you got the-
I don't know about the actual sign up. It may be according to availability too. So I don't.
The conference, I would doubt it.
I doubt if they
It's
would.
probably not a
That would be
cutoff.
excellent for the new commissioner to attend.
Okay.
The room cutoff is 24 hour. I have to have a 24-hour notice if I'm gonna cancel the rooms or change the reservations.
Okay. That's all I have. Do I hear a motion to adjourn? It's been moved
I second it. Mr.
and
Chairman.
seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passes 2-0. We are adjourned at 1:47.